Alam nyo ba mga kababayan, eto, kung matatandaan nyo kasi, ito yung problema sa mga taga-suporta ni dating Pangulong Duterte, especially yung mga vlogger niya. Hindi na alam mga kababayan sa pinaggagawa ng mga vlogger niya, especially nung kanya mga taga-suporta, kung alin ang totoo at hindi. Biruin nyo mga kababayan ha, kung titingnan nyo, may ipinost po kasi ang News 5 noong mga nakaraang araw patungkol po sa binitawang salita ng presidente. Ano ba yung sinabi ng presidente mga kababayan? Ito yung original. Sabi kasi dito, kung titingnan nyo, sa laban kontra ipinagbabawal na bato at krimen, hindi natin kailangan dumaan sa madugong solusyon. Walang naniniwala na ang solusyon sa krimen at ipinagbabawal na bato ay ang magtumba ng libu-libong kapwa Pilipino. Hindi tama yon. Yun po yung sabi ni PBBM. Ang tamang paraan para tiyakin ang kapayapaan at kaayusan ay sa pamamagitan ng maayos na batas. Pero alam nyo ba yung ginawa dyan ng mga taga-suporta ni dating Pangulong Duterte na nagpakalat ng fake news? Ito yung sinabi sa laban kontra ipinagbabawal na bato at krimen, hindi natin kailangan dumaan sa madugong solusyon. Walang naniniwala na ang solusyon sa krimen at ipinagbabawal na bato ay magtumba ng libu-libong kapwa Pilipino. Hindi tama yon. Ang tamang paraan para tiyakin ang kapayapaan at kaayusan ay sa pamamagitan ng maayos na batas. Gumawa tayo ng batas na gawing legal ang ipinagbabawal na gamot o ipinagbabawal na bato dito daw po sa ating bansa. Yan yung pinakalat nila Ganyan katindi, mga kababayan, magpakalat ng fake news etong mga taga-suporta ni dating Pangulong Duterte at especially yung ibang mga vlogger nitong si Digong. Dahil kung titingnan niyo mga kababayan, ano ba yung sinasabi dito sa balita? Sabi kasi dito mga kababayan, inaresto ng National Bureau of Investigation, NBI, ang isang vlogger matapos ang umano'y pagpapakalat ng fake news sa pamamagitan ng pag-edit ng isang News 5 digital report ukol sa pahayag ni Presidente Bongbong Marcos sa isang campaign rally. Kung titingnan nyo nga naman, talagang napakalaki ng pagkakaiba. Ang sinabi lang ng presidente, gumawa ng maayos na batas. Pero dinugtungan mga kababayan na dapat daw gawing legal yung ipinagbabawal na bato dito sa ating bansa. So kung sino man yung vlogger na naaresto ng NBI, deserve mo yan. Kasi inuugali nyo na sirain ang gobyerno. Inuugali ninyo na sirain ang presidente at mag-imbento ng mga peking kwento para mapaniwala yung mga kababayan natin Pilipino. Buti na nga lang, ang taong bayan ngayon hindi na po hindi na po katulad noon na mabilis maniwala, nagre-research at talagang hinahanap yung totoong balita. Buti na nga lang napansin to ng mga kababayan Pilipino natin dahil sobrang mali nga naman po talaga mga kababayan yung dagdagan, yung salita na binibitawan ng presidente. Kaya hindi na rin ako nagtataka kung bakit yung ibang mga kasamahan nila nag-iiyakan ngayon dito sa Trico mga kababayan. Alam niyo, habang nanonood nga ako kanina napapakanta na lang ako yung di ko maiwasang pagmasdan ng kanilang muka. Kasi mga kababayan, biruin nyo sino ba yung isa? Yung isa doon na talagang pinagmamalaki na siya ay reporter, pinagmamalaki na siya ay journalist. Tapos ang ending, yung pala mga paninira sa gobyerno, fake news pala at walang sapat na basihan. Saka ba naman nagkatala? Sisirain mo ang gobyerno dahil sa galit ka lang? Anong basis nun mga kababayan? Diba? Kayo, kaya nyo ba sirain ang gobyerno dahil sa galit lang kayo? At kapag ka magagalit kayo, ang gobyerno sisisihin nyo? Maling-mali po yun. Kung may galit ka sa mundo, sarilinin mo na lang yon. Huwag mo nang idamay ang gobyerno. So panoorin nyo mga kababayan kung paano mag-iyakan yung mga vlogger ni Digong. Eto, i-play po natin.
You have the floor. Mr. Chair, before I proceed to my interpellation, may I be allowed to make a brief manifestation?
Yan.
Good morning, dear colleagues, Mr. Chair. Today we gather to confront the troubling and complex reality of our times, the spread of fake news on social media, and the powerful role that repetition plays in shaping what people believe. It has been said that repeat a lie often enough and it becomes the truth.
Ay, sinong pupusta sa akin mga kababayan? Pagkatapos ng mga yan, sa hearing na ito, yung mga vlogger na pinatawag dyan, yung mga taga-suportang vlogger ni dating Pangulong Duterte na nagpapakalat ng fake news na pinatawag dyan, pustahan tayo pagkatapos ng hearing na to at pagkalabas nila, babanatan nila ang Quadcom, mga kababayan. Sasabihin nila at palalabasin nila na hinaras kami dun. Sinigaw-sigawan kami dun, minura kami dun, hindi kami pinagbigyan ng pagkakataon na makapagsalita. Pero kung titingnan nyo, mga kababayan, una pa lang, bistado na yung pagpapakalat nila ng fake news. Saan ka ba naman nagkatala? Pakakalat mo na nang dahil do sa sa pagkakaaresto kay dating Pangulong Duterte, marami daw sa mga kapulisan ang nag-resign agad-agad. Pero kung titingnan nyo mga kababayan, yung ibang mga pulis na nagpapahayag ng kanilang pagsuporta, hindi ko naman nila lahat. Yung iba po, kung papansinin nyo yung mga video nila, matagal na pong nag-resign yung iba. Yung iba pa nga, ibinubuko ng asawa. Na bakit ngayon lang nagpapahayag nang sila ay nag-resign, ay matagal na naman palang resign at wala sa serbisyo. Kumbaga nakikisakay lang sa issue ni Duterte para sabihin na sinusuportahan nila etong si dating Pangulong Duterte. Ano po, so ngayon ipagpatuloy pa natin.
A phrase widely attributed to Joseph Goebbels, the propaganda minister of Nazi Germany. While those words come from a dark chapter in history, they reveal something deeply psychological and disturbingly relevant today. Modern psychologists would call it the illusion of truth effect.
Tama.
When people hear something over and over again, whether it's true or not, they begin to believe it. Repetition creates familiarity, and familiarity often masquerades as truth. In today's digital world, this effect is supercharged. Social media platforms, algorithms, and virality amplify repetition at unprecedented speeds. And at the heart of this ecosystem are individuals, influencers, who shape the opinion, values, and even the beliefs of millions. That influence carries weight, and with that weight comes responsibility. I believe, Mr. Chair, this hearing is not about silencing voices. It is about understanding how truth and lies compete in our public discourse.
Tandaan nyo mga kababayan etong hearing na ito ay ginawa, etong TRICOM na ito ay ginawa para mapigilan yung pagpapakalat ng disinformation dito po sa ating bansa. Kasi kung hindi po ito gagawin, magtutuloy-tuloy yung iba sa pagpapakalat nila ng maling balita at disinformation. Kita nyo naman kanina, di ba, habang gumugulong etong hearing na ito, walang maipakita na ebidensya o resibo man lang ng pinanggalingan nung kanila mga ipinapakalat na balita, etong mga vlogger ni dating Pangulong Duterte. Yung isa pa ay pinagmamalaki na siya ay journalist, pero wala siyang sapat na basihan at wala siyang ebidensya na hawak-hawak o resibo man lang na magpapatunay na totoo yung kanyang mga argumento at sinasabi sa kanyang mga taga-suporta na sumusuporta sa kanyang account. At ang katuwiran lang mga kababayan, kaya daw po siya nagpo-post ng ganon laban sa gobyerno dahil mainit lang yung kanyang bait mga kababayan at galit lang siya. Hindi pwedeng maging dahilan yan na tuwing galit kayo, gagawa kayo ng kalokohan, ka-fake newsan para sirain ng gobyerno. Pangit po yan. Ano po ngayon, ipagpatuloy pa natin.
And what role social media influencers play in tipping the balance? If truth is repeated more often than lies, even by a margin, say 51 to 49%, then truth can prevail. But if lies dominate the feed, even well-intentioned citizens...
Tsaka masarap panoorin tong bidyong ito mga kababayan kasi may maganda dito sa likod ni Congressman Asedre.
may find themselves misled, manipulated, and misinformed. So today, we have the opportunity to ask tough questions. We seek accountability, and more than that, we call for a shared commitment to making truth more visible, more frequent, and more powerful than the lie. Mr. Chair, let me begin.
I have a new Facebook account because on Feb 7, my Facebook was deactivated. So I created a new Facebook account just probably a week ago or less than a week ago.
Maliban sa Facebook, ano pong mga social media platforms pang yung ginagamit?
I use TikTok but sparingly. That's it.
Tinuturing nyo ba na trabaho in addition to your professional affiliations itong pag-post nyo o paggamit nyo ng social media?
Personally, no, because I don't earn. My accounts are not monetized. But because I'm the social media head of Manila Bulletin, I have to be on top of what's happening on social media.
Oh.
So you consider, again for the record, na your social media activities in a way complement your professional affiliation with Manila Bulletin?
I would say so because if you're a journalist, if you're a writer, if you're an editor, you listen to what people are saying on social media because that's how you get the pulse of the people.
Okay, thank you.
Dito medyo malakas-lakas pa yung loob nitong si Crisette. Hindi, sa totoo lang mga kababayan, dito malakas-lakas pa yung loob ni Crisette pero ang ending niyan mamaya, maniwala kayo, iiyak din yung mga yan.
Kailan ka nagsimula sa social media, if you still remember?
I'm sorry, I don't remember. Probably as soon as Facebook was created, I think maybe a year or two after I had an account. I don't remember exactly when.
So how do you decide on choosing your topics for your content?
My personal content,
Yes, for your personal account.
I don't decide. Facebook has a what's on your mind field, and what's on my mind in that moment is what I write about.
So you would
Grabe,
say that
no?
all this are simply random, spontaneous thoughts that you have over.
Yes.
So, do you consider yourself, tinuturing mo ba sarili mo na influencer in addition to your professional role as a journalist?
I do not know. I'm not a self-identified influencer. I cannot say that I am an influencer, even if I do have a modest following that's below 500,000, because I don't do lives, I don't do YouTube, I have never gone. I only write on Facebook, that's it. I only write on Facebook. I don't do YouTube, I don't do lives, I don't do podcasts, so.
But you are aware that with your your modest following on Facebook, as you refer to it, gives you a considerable audience to your postings. Are you aware of that?
Not more than the others.
Naku
Yes,
po.
I do have a modest following, but not more than the others.
But are
I'm
you-
not in the level of Thinking Pinoy, Sasrogando Saso, at Maharlika. I could still go around.
But
I could still go around, not recognized by people. So no, I'm not an influencer because people don't know me, but I have a voice.
Hindi, pero may ano kasi siya mga kababayan eh. May malaki siyang followers. Especially sa Facebook mga kababayan. And then may mga sumusubaybay din sa kanya sa TikTok. Dapat aware siya na sa bawat post niya mga kababayan, na sa bawat ginagawa niya, nakikita yan ng kanya mga followers. Especially kapag nagbibigay siya ng opinion niya at pahayag niya, or sumusulat siya ng article, nababasa po yan ng kanya mga followers. And then sa bawat bibitawan niyang salita, malaki ang posibilidad na paniwalaan siya ng kanya mga taga-suporta. Hindi kasi pwede mga kababayan dito na kung ano lang yung nasa utak mo, kung ano lang yung nasa isip mo, yun lang yung gagawin mo kahit wala kang sapat na ebidensya at resibo, sasabihin mo lang. Kung gusto mong murahin, ang gobyerno sasabihin mo lang dahil gusto mo lang. Hindi po pwedeng ganon. Especially mga kababayan, kapag ka mag-aakusa ka sa mga congressman, sasabihin mo buti pa yung pamumuhay ng kanilang mga anak at magaganda, nakakapag-aral sa ibang bansa, samantalang yung anak ng dating presidente na vice-presidente kinakailangan pa magbenta ng kung ano-ano para may pang-tusto sa luho. Hindi pwedeng ganon mga kababayan na ang dating, kaya mo sinasabi yung mga ganong klase ng salita para palabasin na kurap yung mga kongresista. Ang problema kasi mga kababayan, magaling magsalita, oo, etong si Crisette. Pero ang kapag ka nasa sa ganitong klase ng sitwasyon na, kahit mali na ipipilit pa. Yun po yung problema sa kanila. Ano po, ipagpatuloy pa natin.
Let's put it at that. I have a voice.
But then again,
Si Crisette po siya mga kababayan, siya yung malimit mag-post ng mga paninira sa gobyerno.
I'll bring back the question. Are you aware of the volume, the size of the audience that are listening, are reading your posts?
Yes, because the measure is the likes, the number of likes. So sometimes, I believe, syempre, I don't have proof of that, but in my previous
Ay, Sir Vince Gandeza, mega love shoutout po ah.
Facebook, I
Thank you po. Thank you po sa pakape.
believe that I was shadow banned. So my likes in my 480,000 Facebook was around 5,000, maximum 10,000. Now, this is a new account and I don't think I've been shadow banned yet. I can reach as many as 50,000, even 100,000. So this is the new account.
50,000 for a single post?
Yes, for this new account.
Okay. Mr. Chair, just want to put on the record that to put everything in context, no, that the resource person on many occasions, several instances in their previous account, and I'm not so sure because I haven't seen the current accounts, have actually written about this representation, has made post against this representation, but I will take the advice of the good Congressman Marcoleta that we politicians, public servants should not be onion skin, and I will make sure that I'll be as objective as possible with my questions.
Can I reply to that, Mr. Chair?
No, I will continue with my questions, Mr. Chair. Mrs. Crescent, ano po ang klase ng content ng inyong pinopost?
Political, personal, lifestyle.
And many of these
basically what my life is in the public. Anything, food, films. Political is a big part because I am politically inclined. I like talking about.
In short, mga kababayan, ang malimit ipinopost nitong si Crisette ay yung mga kritisismo niya, pag-criticize niya sa gobyerno, pagbatikos niya sa mga kongresista natin, especially nung kainitan ng issue ng Quadcom. Isa po siya sa matindi na bumabati ko sa ating gobyerno.
About politics, but it's not the end all and be all of my account.
How many percent would you consider those would carry political? How many percent of your posts would you consider would carry political themes?
In my old account, probably 70, 80%. I'm not sure. I don't measure it's spontaneous. I don't set out to I don't have a quota.
And you attribute this simply because you are
because I'm very politically aware and I'm very politically passionate, sir.
Ayan.
Sa mga content mo, may
Political aware daw siya at political passionate, mga kababayan. So ngayon, mamaya makikita natin yung kanya mga pinagagagawa kung kaya niyang idepensa.
Naalala ka bang pinakamaraming engagements, views, likes, or whatever impressions? Yung pinaka nag-trending na post mo? Top of mind.
Sa old account, ang pinaka nag-trending na post was the death of Stan Lee. It's not a political post, the death of Stan Lee, the creator of Marvel. Sa new account, my sadness over PRRD spending his birthday alone in his cell in The Hague.
Yung sa mga political post mo in the previous account, ano po yung pinaka nag-trending?
I don't remember exactly, but it's always about the former president.
So sa tingin mo, bakit nag-trending isang post ni Crescent?
Yan na.
I don't know. Maybe because it resonates with people. Because I have never boosted a post. I'd have never bought likes, or I have never paid to get liked or followed. So I cannot speak for my audience or readers, but it's probably common sense that it resonates with them that there are a lot of people who love President Duterte.
Eto maliwanag, mga kababayan, ha. Kaya siya sinusuportahan ng mga tao, especially ng mga taga-suporta nitong si Digong, kasi nga dahil ipinagtatanggol niya itong si dating Pangulong Duterte, especially mga kababayan, nung mga panahon na naaresto itong si dating Pangulong Duterte at nung mga panahon na kainitan ng investigasyon ng Quadcom na kung saan ipinapatawag yung iba sa mga kasamahan ni dating Pangulong Duterte na nag-implement tong kanilang maling pulisiya sa ipinagbabawal na bato na naging dahilan ng pagkasawi ng mga kababayan po nating Pilipino. So ngayon, isa po siya sa pinakamainit mga kababayan ng mga panahon na yon. At nagpo-post, halos nga araw-araw, nagpo-post ng mga pambabatikos at pagmumura laban po sa ating gobyerno. Kaya nga siya mga kababayan, naimbitahan dito po sa Quadcom. And then, kaya siya sinusundan hanggang ngayon at sinusuportahan ng mga DDSet kasi nga, siya yung isa sa tagapagtanggol ni dating Pangulong Duterte. Ano po, ipagpatuloy pa natin.
May mga contents na sinasabi na non-political o may mga post ka naman na masasabi mong hindi nag-viral, ano?
Actually, I don't know what the parameters are for what is considered viral. I don't know.
Or let's say, anong klase ng content naman in your experience ang hindi nagkaroon ng maraming engagement? May naalala ka ba na...
Ano?
I do not look at how many likes I get. Right, and whether or not they go viral is not very important to me. I write what I write, whether I have 1 reader or 1,000 readers.
When you post something, do you also engage with your those who make comments?
When I have time, when I have time.
And when you do that, have you considered ano yung mga dominant demographic ng yung audience na usually mo na napapansin? Are these like-minded?
Nagka-problema yung ano nila, yung microphone nila. Anyway, tuloy na lang natin mawawala din naman yan.
People are these Mr. Chair.
Sakit sa tenga.
Hello? Okay.
Okay na?
Okay. So, I assume that as with any page, you attract like-minded people. So the reason they're on my page is that they read me because they think I think like them. So even with, and it's not just political, even if you have pages for hobbies or entertainment, the people who go to your page are the people who like reading that sort of thing.
And you think this is the reason also why people follow, they like, they comment your posts because they agree with your posts?
Probably, yes, I think so.
And you think...
But just to clarify, I also have people who go to my posts just to oppose what I say. So it's not as if it's an echo chamber.
Hindi, alam niyo ba mga kababayan kung bakit itinatanong yan ni Congressman Asedre? Kasi may itatanong sa kanya mamaya na may hirapan siyang i-defend. Ano po, mahihirapan siyang sagutin. Yung tanong na yun about do sa PNP na ipinapakalat niya na marami daw nag-resign. Marami daw nag-resign mga kababayan na mga pulis nung panahon na naaresto etong si dating Pangulong Duterte. Kasi eto kaya itinatanong itong mga bagay na ito kung paano siya sinusundan ng mga taga-suporta niya, kung gaano kadami yung naniniwala at sumusuporta sa kanya. Kasi nga, yun din yung pagbabasihan mamaya doon sa kanyang ipinost mga kababayan na fake news. Ano po, na ang katuwiran niya, isinare lamang daw po niya yon. And then nilagyan niya daw ng daw. Yun po yung katuwiran niya. Pero hindi niya nakikita na yung mga tao na makakakita nun at makakabasa nun, especially yung maraming sumusuporta sa kanya, pwedeng i-pick up yon at iba yung pumasok sa kanilang isipan. At mas lalong magdulot pa nga yun mga kababayan, or pwede pa nga magdulot yon sa isipan ng mga sumusuporta sa kanya para lalong magalit sa ating gobyerno, especially para maging mababa ang tingin sa ating mga kapulisan. Ano po, so yan yung mga dahilan kung bakit itinatanong yung reach ng kanya mga nakukuhang suporta, yung dami ng mga sumusuporta sa kanya, yung nagigain niyang views, likes, etc. Ano po, dahil itatanong sa kanya yung isang tanong na ipinost niya, pinalalabas niyang isinare po niya, and then nilagyan lang daw niya ng daw. Ano po, anyway, pagpatuloy pa natin.
It's not, because there are people who go to my page and there are people who are trolls, and when you look at their accounts, those are new accounts, locked profiles, and they say the same thing. So it's not there's no echo chamber in today's social media because there are trolls on pages and there are people who oppose what you say.
It's good that you pointed that out, but let me ask, do you think in your engagement with those who are posting, with your post, no, you think that the content of your post actually influence the minds of other social media users? Have you ever found yourself quoted, reposted, shared in other social media accounts?
Yes, they are, but I always maintain that they would not be reading my page if they were not already feeling or thinking what I'm feeling. And a lot of the feedback that I get is that people saying, you articulate what I am feeling, except that I do not have the words or the talent to say that. So I think majority of my readers are those people who want to express their frustrations or express their hopes and are not just, I do not have my writing skills.
It's good that you mentioned about feedback. So, have you ever received feedback that people are actually saying it's good that you exposed this, that you wrote about this because I'm learning, I get to know what's happening, I get to understand the issue more?
Yes, but that's not specific to social media. I am an editor, and if I write articles for the newspaper, it's always all the articles that you write, whether they're for social media or for traditional media, you're writing it to expose, inform, entertain, empower.
But let me go back to the social media. Let me limit to the social media posts.
Ah.
Have you ever received feedback saying that they have learned, they're thankful that they have exposed, they have learned something, they've been influenced by the information that you posted in your social media account?
Sir, I do not think that I am at the level of investigative journalist who have exposed something. I just say what unfortunately, I'm not the kind of journalist who can do exposés. So unless it's something of my personal knowledge, I don't think that somebody has thanked me for exposing something.
So are you sure that in your social media posts, whether in your previous posts or not, you have not exposed any public official or agency of the government whatsoever?
Yan na!
Remember, you're under oath.
Not that I remember, and I know that I'm under oath. I don't remember anything exposing a public. And if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it in my job for Manila Bulletin, not on my page. So I am more protected by my office.
I will go back to the question. Ibig sabihin ba, sa social media posts mo, wala kang sinabi na nag-i-expose ka sa sino mang opisyal o ehensya ng gobyerno tungkol sa in the conduct of their official duties?
I don't remember any exposés I've done.
Yan na! Tingnan nyo mga kababayan ha, eto na. Sabi ko sa inyo, lahat ng tanong na yan papunta doon sa ahensya ng gobyerno na ipinost. Ito ang problema doon sa mga vlogger na iba, tandaan nyo to palagi. Make sure na kapag gumagawa kayo ng vlog or content, much better tandaan nyo. Kung hindi nyo man matandaan yung mismong title, kahit yung petsa kung kailan nyo in-upload yun at kung ano mga pangyayari yun, mas madali nyo na matatandaan. Ang problema mga kababayan sa mga to, tingnan nyo ha.
Mr. Chair, is it possible that the committee subpoena Meta for a copy? I understand that Meta keeps a digital copy of all the postings over a considerable time. I move that we subpoena the social media posts of Mrs. Crisette Chua.
There's a motion. Any second? Second. Any objection? There being none, motion is approved.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I know you're a professional journalist, Crisette, and I know you're well trained and you studied abroad, and you have a good appreciation of what it takes to be a journalist. By referencing from that, would you describe the extent of your influence? How would you describe the extent of your influence online, and what responsibility do you think comes with that influence?
I am I'm not comfy with the idea that I am responsible for something because I just write. As I said, I'm very careful before all these things. Before, sir, Mr. Chair, before I was included in the top 40 vloggers, fake news, Pogo funded. I have never spoken my politics, not on YouTube, not on Facebook. I just write. So I don't have the...
tingnan nyo hindi daw siya nagsasalita ng politics. Bibihira. Ipagpalagay natin, sige, bibihira siya nagsasalita ng politics. Mamaya mahuhuli nyo no nagsisinungaling yan.
Feel like I am an important political commentator. I write what I feel. But I'm not one of those people na people will think about because I have discussed it. I have engaged with other people. I write what I say. I write what I think, and that's it. Sometimes I answer the comments on my page, but that's the limit of my political conversation. So if you're going to ask me what I think my influence is, then I cannot answer it. Maybe it's better to ask other people if they're affected by what I write and if they feel like I
Ms. Quezon,
influence them.
earlier you mentioned you have a following right now of how many?
About 250.
250,000?
Ah,
In your previous account, how many?
480,000.
And then in your average impressions for every post is around 10,000, if I'm not mistaken. That's the number you said earlier.
In my new page, in my old page, about 5,000 to
In your new page,
about 10,000.
10,000
In my
per
new
post.
page.
Don't you feel any responsibility to speak the truth and what's factual?
Yes,
Yan
I
na.
speak my truth. I'm under oath.
I mean, what
yes,
I'm
I
saying
speak
is,
my truth.
don't you think having such a number of following,
pinagyayabang niya under oath daw siya at nagsasalita siya ng katotohanan.
with that
Tuloy pa
influence, let me call that influence, that a certain degree of responsibility comes with it?
Of course, there's a responsibility. That's why I use my training in journalism to make sure that nobody can ever call me out and say it's fake news. I can make mistakes, but they're not glaring mistakes, and I'm still going to have the same opinion from that
So,
same.
Mrs.
Yari
Quezon,
ka ngayon.
you stand by saying that you are faithful to your journalistic training in the course of determining or choosing the content, the tenor, and the language of your post. Yes or no?
Sorry, can you please repeat that?
Do you stand by your statement saying that you make sure that you're faithful to your journalistic
yes,
training
sir.
in
I make
terms
sure
of,
that
in terms
as
of
far as
let me continue first. In terms of the content, the language, the demeanor with which you post, you make your postings.
As far as I can, as far as I'm knowledgeable, I post what I feel. Maybe at the moment, maybe when I'm very angry, I post some things that are more inflammatory than when I'm more calm. But basically, those are my feelings. So, so sir, there will be times that I will be more angry
And the
towards one
postings,
politician over
Ms.
another
Quezon,
time. I'm still going to be angry at them.
Let me ask a question. So you mean when you speak something inflammatory on you post something inflammatory on your Facebook account, you don't mind whether people will be influenced by those inflammatory statements or not?
Those are my opinions, and I believe I have very intelligent readers. So if they think that I am lying, they can call me out. If they agree with me because they've used their own eyes, then they can investigate for themselves. Those are my opinions. Those are what I feel. If I say I don't like this person, I stand by it.
So you don't really mind if people, as a journalist, don't you feel that there's a need for you to...
I do not use my Facebook page. I do not identify myself
But
there.
earlier you mentioned that you make sure that you apply your journalistic training.
Meaning, I make sure I don't lie.
Kasi sa totoo lang mga kababayan, 'di ba, kung ikaw sinasabi mo na journalist ka, nag-aral ka pa sa ibang bansa, 'di ba dapat alam mo yung code at saka ethics bilang isang journalist mga kababayan. And then dapat maingat ka sa mga ipinopost at isinishare mo. Kung hindi ka sigurado at wala kang sapat na patunay or wala kang resibo or ebidensya dun sa isang post na nakuha mo, di ba dapat kailangan mong ipagtanong, halimbawa, totoo ba ito PNP na marami nag-resign sa inyo? Ang problema kasi mga kababayan, dito kay Crisette, bukod dun sa ipinost niya or isinare niya na post na about sa PNP, meron din siya mga kababayan na ipinost na about do sa AKAP ata yun. And then mga kababayan, meron din siyang ipinost about do sa mga accusation niya sa mga kongresista, na kung saan buti pa daw yung mga kongresista nag-aaral yung mga anak sa ibang bansa. Tapos ang pinakamasaklap dito mga kababayan, ipinipilit niya na yung post daw niya ay may daw. Alam naman po natin na yung iba sa mga kababayang Pilipino natin, kahit lagyan mo ng daw yung mga post mo, kung ano yung nakita nila, kung ano yung nabasa nila. Doon sa iba mga kababayang Pilipino natin lalo na at idol nila, yung influencer na nag-share nun, pinaniniwalaan na po agad nila. At yan ay ipinakita ko sa inyo kagabi. Diba yun nga si Janisin Kita nyo kung gaano katindi yung paniniwala ng mga tao doon na isasalba ni Janisin. Etong si Duterte sa Dahig, Netherlands. Doon na nga lang makikita nyo na yung ibang mga taga-suporta ni dating Pangulong Duterte mabilis mapaniwala. Ano po ngayon, ipagpatuloy pa natin?
Meaning, I make sure that I do not, even if I am inflammatory, even if I'm angry, it's still not a lie. I'm just more angry in one post and I am in another post. My degree of feeling changes per post, but the content will not change. If I'm angry at one person, it can be...
Kapag ka daw siya ay galit, hindi daw siya nagsisinungaling. Kapag ka daw siya ay galit, bibihira siya magsinungaling, mga kababayan. Kung ano yung i-post niya, nasabi niya, yun na yun. Ano po, so tingnan natin mamaya.
Because I'm angry at one person, and the next post, I'm still angry at them, but not as much. But
So
the
that
reason that
changes.
I'm angry at them is the same.
Okay.
Before we proceed, may I remind the resource persons, when you answer, please address the chair first.
Sir,
And,
sorry. Okay, sir, Mr. Chair.
Let the interpolator finish the question before you answer. Just a reminder.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir.
Mabilis ata uminit yung ulo ni Crisette. Crisette, ba't mas mabilis uminit yung bait mo? Eh, tinatanong ka lang naman ni Congressman na Asedre, wala pa nga kayo doon sa point na itinatanong sa'yo yung isa sa mga ipinost mo. Eh, napakaiinit agad ng bait ninyo.
In your training for journalism, you majored in journalism, right?
Communication arts
Yes.
and publishing, sir.
Are you aware of the psychological phenomenon called illusion of truth effect?
I'm not sure we discussed it, sir.
So
Mr. Chair.
it means that when a repeated information is repeated again and again, it's likely to be perceived as true regardless of the factual accuracy.
Okay, sir.
For the record, let me ask, have you ever unknowingly or knowingly repeated content that turned out to be false or misleading? Have you ever? In the course of your posting, have you ever repeated
Knowingly,
content?
no. Unknowingly, I am not sure.
Mr. Chair, I ask because I would like to draw your attention to this post dated March 13.
Yan na!
Under her new account, Crisette Chu, may ask the Secretariat to flash it on the screen. Where the resource person posted, and I'll read
Naku po!
the first paragraph. May mga pulis at military daw na nagre-resign kasi hindi na daw nila kaya. Marami daw. They cannot be part of this government daw. Crisette, Mrs. Crisette, would you confirm that this account is yours?
Yes, sir. And Mr. Chairman, that's not fake news because there were TikTok.
wait.
And kindly, sir,
Mr. Chair,
finish the post, sir.
kita nyo?
Kasi nakakahiya ako, sir.
Ms. Crisette, as I've said, please let the representative finish the question first.
Kita nyo mga kababayan ha, bistado na agad. Marami daw sa mga pulis mga kababayan ang nagbitaw. Nung naaresto itong si dating Pangulong Duterte kasi hindi na daw ata kaya. Tapos ang pinakamasaklap nun, kung mapapansin nyo, di ba may isang pulis na nagpahayag ng kanyang pagbatiko sa administrasyon ni PBBM. And then binatikos pa nga niya itong si PBBM. Ano ba nangyari doon sa pulis na yon? Di ba humingi daw ng pasensya, may pasoro-sorry pa, may paiyak-iyak pa. Kaya tinanggap ulit at sa serbisyo mga kababayan. Pero tuloy pa rin yung kaso na nakasampa dun po sa pulis na yon. And then yung isa, kung matatandaan nyo, may pulis din na nagpahayag ng kanyang pagsuporta kay dating Pangulong Duterte at pinakita na siya po ay nag-resign sa kanyang serbisyo. Pero di ba kalaunan ibinulgar nung mismong girlfriend niya ata. Mga kababayan, yung nagsiwalat na matagal na palang resign. Kumbaga, kaya lang nagpo-post na nag-resign dahil kay Duterte dahil nakikisakay lang sa isyo ng pag-aresto kay dating Pangulong Duterte. So ngayon, kung titingnan po nating mabuti, kung yun ngang isang pulis na binabatikos ang presidente habang nasa sasakyan niya mga kababayan at sinabi na hindi daw susunod sa mandato ng kanyang ng mas mataas sa kanya, eh di ba may paiyak-iyak pa at humihingi pa ng pasensya. Kung yun nga mga kababayan, bumabatikos na sa gobyerno, may paiyak-iyak pa at humihingi ng pasensya, wag lang ata mawala sa serbisyo. Tapos papalabasin nitong si Crisette na nag-resign ng ganun-ganun na lang kadali yung ibang mga kapulisan natin. Di ba ipagpatuloy pa natin?
First, before you answer, let us observe proper decorum.
So this is your Facebook account.
Yes, sir.
Did you post this?
Yes, sir. I
And
post the
in
entire
this first page, first paragraph, you stand by your statement that you said na maraming, let me read it verbatim, na may mga pulis na military daw na magre-resign kasi hindi na daw nila kaya. Marami daw. They cannot be part of this government daw. Tama po ba?
Yes, sir. And then
Saan
kindly
mo
read.
nakuha yung informasyon na to?
Sir, if you go on TikTok, there are policemen.
How many policemen?
Sir, I'm not counting, but there are many
But
policemen,
you
and
said
that's a
marami.
general impression,
But
sir.
you said marami. So,
Yes,
so
sir.
you just...
Yan kasi ang problema, hindi mo nabilang Criset tapos ang post mo madaming pulis na magre-resign. Alam nyo, kala siguro ni Criset, mga kababayan, may isalba niya yung kanyang sarili porket nilagyan niya ng daw yung post niya, mga kababayan. Pero kung tutuusin talaga, yung kanyang ipinost, mga kababayan, yung kanyang sinulat na post sa kanyang Facebook page ata to or main account niya, talagang paano niya nasabi na maraming pulis na magre-resign kung hindi naman pala niya na bilang yung mga pulis na nakita niya na nagpahayag ng kanilang damdamin at kung totoo ba na yung mga pulis na yun ay magre-resign sa kanilang serbisyo. Kasi mahirap talaga yan, mga kababayan. Fake news po talaga yan kung walang katotohanan at wala naman nga talagang pulis na magre-resign. Diba? Gaya ng sinasabi niya na madami. Anyway, ipagpatuloy pa natin.
Marami,
post
sir.
it on the basis of a single,
Yes, sir.
2 or 3 posts?
Yes, sir. I will not count all that, but there's a general impression, sir. And sir, if
Have
you read all
ever
my content...
Let me ask the question and I'll give you the chance to answer. Have you ever made an effort to verify this post from official sources?
Yes, sir, because there were already policemen, and I am sure our policemen can also say that there were policemen that are on TikTok that are voicing out their, if they have like, feelings. So, if you could kindly, sir, read the rest. So, kasi nahihiya po ako kasi may mga police dito.
No. I just want to stand by your opinion. The next succeeding paragraphs are your the opinion of the resource person. I just want to stick to the factual statements you made. And that's basically saying that maraming police at military daw ang magre-resign kasi hindi na daw nila kaya. Marami daw. They cannot
Alam nyo kasi, mga kababayan, pag nilagyan kasi ng daw yan, hindi siya sigurado. Ibig sabihin, wala siyang hawak na impormasyon, wala siyang hawak na resibo doon sa kanyang ipinost na nabasa at nakita ng kanyang mga taga-suporta. Sabi ko nga po sa inyo, may mga pagkakataon kasi, mga kababayan, na ginagamit din namin, especially kami mga vlogger, yung mga nagla-live araw-araw, yung salitang di umano. Kasi yung di umano, obvious naman talaga yung sinasabi natin kung totoo man or hindi. Pero di umano, mga kababayan. Pero sa kanya kasi, alam naman po natin na mabilis mapaniwala yung mga taga-suporta ni dating Pangulong Duterte. Kaya pala nakakapagtaka, bigla ang pumutok yung issue na marami daw sa mga kapulisan ang magbibitaw sa pwesto buhat nung naaresto etong si dating Pangulong Duterte. Kasi isa pala sila sa nagpapakalat nun. Ang pinakamasaklap pa nga dyan, mga kababayan, kaya nasabing fake news yan, kasi naglabas po ng statement at pahayag ang PNP. Noong mga panahon na kasagsaga na ipinapakalat nila, yung balitang yan. Alam naman po natin kapag ka nagpahayag at naglabas ng statement ng PNP at may nauna ng balita doon at kinontra ng PNP yun, ibig sabihin fake news yun. Ngayon, ipagpatuloy pa natin.
be part of this.
Tsaka tandaan nyo, mga kababayan, kung titingnan nyo kapag nagbabasa tayo ng article dito, hanggat may makukuha pa tayong resibo like video, balita, ipinapakita ko sa inyo para walang maibato sa atin na wala tayong pinagkunan nung impormasyon na yon. Kung article lang yung binasa natin, pinipilit ko talaga, mga kababayan, na makahanap pa tayo ng isa pang balita na katulad nun. Para in case of questionin tayo about doon, dalawang news yung maipakita natin, article at saka actual na video. Ngayon, ipagpatuloy pa natin.
Government. And apparently, the resource person, Mr. Chair, has gotten this information from other social media posts. And on a critical matter such as this, Mr. Chair,
sabi dito, Sir Jake, paki-inform nga na hindi naiintindihan ang explanation niya. Hindi, talagang mahirap intindihin to, mga kababayan. Alam niyo kung bakit? Kasi pagka sinagot niya yan, ang direct to the point, matutumbok siya ni Congressman Asedre. Malapit na nga siyang matumbok kaya iniiwas niya yung pagsagot niya, hindi niya sinasagot directly. Kumbaga, mga kababayan, ipapaliwanag niya muna ng mahaba hanggang sa paiikot-ikutin niya yung kanya mga salita para malito si Congressman Asedre. Kaso mahirap lituhin itong si Congressman Asedre. Kaya ang ending, kung ano yung itinanong, yun pa rin yung dapat niyang sagutin. Anyway, ipagpatuloy pa natin.
She did not make any effort, or unless you're contesting it, any effort to verify it from official sources.
Mr. Chair, number one, I made sure to put the word "thou" because no policeman has ever come out to me Well, before, but it was in my old when they would talk about their discontent.
Earlier you said you don't want to write a lie.
Yeah,
Diba?
that's
Ayan,
not a lie,
oh.
sir. That's
When you
not a
asked
lie, sir.
the resource person, naniniwala ka
Huli agad. Huli agad. 'Di ba sabi niya kanina, lalo na kapag kagalit siya mga kababayan, hindi siya nagsisinungaling. Lalo na kapag mainit yung bike niya, hindi po siya nagsisinungaling mga kababayan. Tapos yung pinakamatindi pa diyan, sinabi niya na hindi siya nagsusulat ng kasinungalingan. Ngayon, bistado na siya, oh.
ka ba sa katotohanan? As a journalist,
Of course.
ang pagsasabi ba ng hindi totoo, hindi pagsasabi ng katotohanan, tama, di ba?
Mr. Chair, those are the impressions, not
No,
only
no, no.
of
I'm saying,
me.
I'm asking you because I want to test if we have the same idea of what truthful is.
Yes, sir.
Ang
Yes,
hindi
Mr.
pagsasabi
Chair.
ng totoo ay hindi pagsasabi ng katotohanan, di ba?
Yes, Mr.
Ang
Chair,
hindi
and I
pagsasabi ng
maintain.
totoo ay kasinungalingan. Tama.
Yes, sir, and I maintain
Ang
I'm speaking the
pagsasabi
truth.
ng half-truth ay pagsasabi din ng kasinungalingan.
I am maintaining that I am speaking the truth of the impressions made on social media.
Nako po.
Okay.
Thank you, sir,
I don't
Mr.
want to
Chair.
argue with her position, Mr. Chair, but I just want to bring the attention of the committee to another.
Ang hirap noon, paano kung yung nakuha mong balita sa social media na chismis, ano lang pala, tawag dito, walang basihan. Di ba mga kababayan? Lalo na at journalist po siya, ay pinagmamalaki niya na siya ay journalist and then nag-aral pa siya abroad. Tapos ang kanyang pinagkukunan ng mga impormasyon, yung mismong mga chismis lang sa TikTok mga kababayan, especially sa Facebook. Kita nyo kung gaano katindi. Samantalang tayo dito mga kababayan at yung mga kasamahan natin vlogger, kapag ka nagsasalita, may 2-3 na resibo para hindi man lang tayo mabalikan. Tapos itong mga ito doon lang magbabase ng chismis. Chismis sa TikTok tapos isusulat na. Ganyang katindi. Sabi ko nga sa inyo mga kababayan, talamak sa kanila ang pag-iimbento at paggawa ng kwento.
To a news article showing the official position of the PNP. Can we flash that on? Can we flash that on the screen?
Comsec, please flash the content.
Ayan o. Tingnan nyo ha. Ano yung sabi ng PNP mga kababayan? Babasahin ko sa inyo ha. No mass resignation. Ibig sabihin, walang katotohanan yung sinasabi nitong si Criset doon sa kanyang isinulat na post mga kababayan sa kanyang personal account. Kasi mismong sinagot po yan ng PNP. Noong nakaraang araw pa yan mga kababayan na walang katotohanan yung ipinapakalat na mass resignation sa mga kapulisan dahil nakikisimpat siya kay dating Pangulong Duterte. Walang katotohanan yun.
Okay, this is a press release. I think this is a news article from, if I'm not mistaken, from the Philippine Star, saying basically, according to the spokesperson of the PNP, hindi daw totoo ang nasasabing mass resignation ng mga miyembro ng PNP.
Ayan!
Tiyak po ang pagkakasabi na walang isang miyembro ng PNP ang nagbitiw mula sa kanilang posisyon pagkatapos ng pagka-aresto ni President Duterte.
Tsaka tandaan nyo mga kababayan ha, yung iba mga social media influencer na pulis, lalo na yung may mga malalaking followers, may isa kasi doon na nagpapahayag na nagbitiw na sa serbisyo. Ang paniniwala ng mga taga-suporta ni dating Pangulong Duterte, kaya nagbitiw kasi naaawa daw kay dating Pangulong Duterte. Pero kung babalikan nyo yung post, hindi ko nababanggitin yung pangalan ha, yung post nung isang social media influencer na pulis, actually babae yon mga kababayan, matagal na siyang nagbitaw sa pwesto. Hindi pa nangyayari yung pag-aresto kay dating Pangulong Duterte. Umalis na po siya sa kanyang serbisyo, mga kababayan, bilang isang pulis. So ngayon, ang isa pa dito mga kababayan, paano nasabi ng kampo ni dating Pangulong Duterte, especially nitong si Criset, na may mga pulis na nagbibitaw? Kung yung isa nga, sabi ko nga sa inyo kanina, kung yung isa nga na nagmura at kung yung isa nga na bumabatikos kay PBBM at kini-question yung pamamalakad ni PBBM, yung isang pulis mga kababayan na sinasabi na may problema sa pag-iisip, pumunta pa ng kanilang istasyon mga kababayan at may paiyak-iyak pa. 'Di ba? Para wag lang mawala di umano sa kanyang serbisyo. So paano nasabi ng mga ito na may nagbitaw at may nagresign na maraming kapulisan. Ano po ngayon, ipagpatuloy pa natin.
Pinabulaanan nga po niya ang ilang partikular na mga post at larawan na kumakalat sa social media tungkol dito. So have you read this article after your post?
Mr. Chair, no, I have not read that article. And Mr. Chair, this article exactly affirms what I said earlier, that the mass impression of laymen like us, civilians like us, that there were mass resignations. The fact that the PNP...
But Madam Chair, Mr. Chair, you just said, yet you do not share lies on your post,
sir,
diba?
Sir, I shared... ano tawag?
Bistado na!
Mr. Chair, that's what I said. Kaya ako nag-include ng daw. These were impressions. The fact, sir, that our PNP had to write a press release means kami na wala kaming statistics. These were the impressions that were coming to us.
So you're saying that this is something
sir,
that
can I
you
also
just...
finish?
Okay.
Why it's not fair here?
Okay, Mr. Chair, does it mean that you have simply written this post out of your personal impressions or the impressions of you believe are posted in other social media without even making sure whether there is enough basis or have made any effort to verify your statements?
Mr. Chair, if I am not an insider in the PNP and they had to release that information, it means that they are correcting the general impression of masses like us. The fact that they had to write it means that there's a general impression, and to our policeman here, I would like to
And when you make
address you
those,
that,
Mr. Chair, when you make
Alam niyo, sa totoo lang mga kababayan, yan yung pinakamahirap sa isang nagsusulat ng balita. Yung mga kababayan, yung ang pinagbabasihan mo ay yung sinasabi lang na malaking chismis sa social media. Kasi pwede ka magkamali dyan lalo na kung wala kang hawak na resibo at saka ebidensya. Ang problema kasi dito mga kababayan kay Criset, yung pinagkunan niya kasi nung balita na may mga pulis na nag-resign, may mga pulis na umalis mga kababayan, kung ano yung sinasabi nung masa daw na sinasabi niya. Especially baka nakuha niya itong balitang ito doon sa TikTok. Kasi doon naman siya nagmamalagi mga kababayan at doon siya malimit na kumuha na mga ibinabalita niya sa kanyang social media account. So baka doon siya nakakuha ng idea mga kababayan na marami sa ating mga kapulisan ang nagbitiw sa pwesto kahit wala namang katibayan at wala naman siyang resibo or ebidensya na pinanghahawakan. Kaya tingnan nyo ang ending, yung kanyang post mga kababayan, pumapasok sa fake news.
make those impressions, you don't have any regard whether now you find yourself apologizing to the policeman
No,
here.
sir, the
So
reason
you
I am
didn't make any
apologizing
effort.
is because my post was
Mr.
not
Chair.
about... Mr. Chair, can I
Point of
just
order.
please give me time to explain? Because it's been
At saka sa totoo lang mga kababayan, pag sariling opinion mo yan, hindi mo na kailangan lagyan ng daw. Pag sariling opinion mo na yan mga kababayan, hindi mo na kailangan lagyan ng daw. Opinion mo na yan eh. 'Di ba? Pero na lamang kung ikaw talaga intentionally yung pagpapakalat mo ng maling balita at para maisalba yung sarili mo, kailangan mong gumamit ng mga code na daw. 'Di ba mga kababayan? Para lang maisalba yung kanyang sarili at sabihin niya na siya ay nagtatanong lang, hindi nag-iimbento ng fake news. Ano po ngayon, ipagpatuloy pa natin.
Mr.
Sir,
Sen, in
kindly-
accordance with our rules, as I've said earlier, this will be the third time that I'm telling all the resource persons, let the interpellator finish the question first. And in fact, if I impose the rule strictly, the resource persons can only speak until I recognize you.
Thank
So,
you, sir.
kung pwede lang patapusin nyo yung tanong bago kayo sumakot para hindi tayo magkakagulo rito.
Babalikan ko yung tanong ko. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Ms. Garcet, sa dami ng followers ninyo,
Yan.
in putting out information or posting items such as what has been presented before this committee, are you saying categorically that you do not feel any responsibility for the weight and for the consequences of your posts?
Can I answer now?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Chair, I am saying that I am merely writing about what I see as the pulse of the masses, which is that they were afraid that there were policemen. That's why also I am very careful that I said daw. And to our honorable policeman, I'm not apologizing because I wrote that. I'm apologizing because you don't know the context of what I wrote. And what I wrote was, please don't resign. Because if you really want to make a difference in our country, you can best do it from the inside. It was not a condemnation of people who were resigning, but
Hindi ako naniniwala dyan mga kababayan na yung purpose ng kanyang pagpo-post na yon para sabihin do sa ating mga kapulisan na huwag kayo mag-resign? Hindi ganun yung ibig sabihin ng post niya. Kaya nila isinasabi yan, kaya nila pinapakalat yan na marami sa ating mga kapulisan na nagbitaw sa serbisyo kasi para ipakita sa sambayan ng Pilipino na hindi nagugustuhan ng PNP yung ginagawang trabaho or ginagawang proseso, mga kababayan, ng ating gobyerno pagdating sa pagpapatupad ng batas. Yan yung gusto niyang gawin. Hindi ako naniniwala doon na kinokondemn niya yung pagbibitaw ng ating mga kapulisan na sinasabi niya. Or ang purpose niya kaya niya ipinost yun ay dahil para sabihin do sa ating mga kapulisan na wag magbitaw sa kanilang mga serbisyo. Kalokohan yan. Nag-aaya kayo. Gusto nyong papangitin, pasamain ang imahe ng PNP sa mata ng maraming tao. Kaya ninyo ipinopost yan. Yan ang katotohanan dyan.
Reminder that if you're given a rare opportunity,
Kita nyo kung gaano kagaling, paiikutin pa kayo eh. Diba? Hindi nyo napapansin, paiikutin pa kayo doon sa kanyang ipinost na fake news. Kasi sa totoo lang, mga kababayan, purpose naman talaga ng mga yan, pahinain ang imahe ng ating mga kapulisan at sirain ang imahe nila sa publiko, palabasin na marami sa mga kapulisan ang hindi na nagugustuhan yung ginagawa ng kanilang departamento. Yan ang gustong gawin ng mga yan. So ngayon, yung sinasabi niya na may malasakit siya sa ating mga kapulisan at huwag mag-resign, kalokohan yan.
to change something that you do not like, do
I
it
think, Mr.
from the
Chair,
inside.
I think, Mr. Chair, the resource person is not answering the question.
Hindi talaga.
Because we want to focus solely on those first two statements, which I think carries a significant weight. Yung pagsasabi na maraming pulis ang nag-resign at nagbibitiw. Whether it's DAO or what, we're presenting a scenario that could be harmful even to national security. And in fact, if you ask me, personally, there should have been legal consequences for this. I don't know. We have a representative from PNP, so we can hear from it. Mr. Chair, do we have somebody from...
Yes, General Torre, can you please...
General...
Eto, pakinggan nyo ang sasabihin ni General Torre. Alam nyo, parang tinampal na magkabila ang mukha. Yung mag-atawang tampal.
Mr. Chair, General Torre, have there been any incident of massive resignations following the arrest of the former president?
If the qualification for the word massive, sir, is more than the normal, then there's none, sir. But there are regular resignations, but it's not connected to this issue, sir.
So,
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Ano ba yung sinasabi? Kaya ipinost yun, marami sa mga kapulisan na nag-resign buhat nung naaresto si dating Pangulong Duterte. Pero sinasabi ni General Torre na may mga nag-resign nga pero hindi naman connected doon sa pangyayari kung kailan naaresto itong si dating Pangulong Duterte o after naaresto ni dating Pangulong Duterte or after siya maaresto itong si Digong, mga kababayan. Kasi kaya kung sinasabi sa inyo kanina na yung ibang mga kapulisan, yung iba pa nga ay binubulgar ng kanilang mga asawa or girlfriend na matagal na palang nagbitiw at nakikisakay lang sa issue ni Duterte. Yung iba naman, kung tutuusin talaga, matagal na umalis sa serbisyo kasi nga hindi na daw masaya. Yun yung feeling nung iba. 2024 pa lang nagbitaw na sa serbisyo, tapos yung iba kaya lang nagpapahayag ngayon, yung mga dating pulis na wala na sa serbisyo kasi wala na nga sila sa PNP. Kumbaga nakikisimpatya lang sila kay dating Pangulong Duterte at ginawa siguro ng mga ito pinick up yung mga pahayag na yon ng mga dating pulis na nag-resign na matagal na. Ano po at pinalalabas na kaya umalis yung mga pulis na yon ay dahil hindi nagustuhan yung naging pag-aresto kay dating Pangulong Duterte. Ang pinakamasaklap kasi, mga kababayan, kaya gisang-gisa talaga dito si Crisette kasi ang isa sa pinaka naging putahin niya, hindi, alam niyo yung tawag dito? O recipe sa English, mga kababayan, ang isa sa naging recipe nitong si Crisette na banatan araw-araw, walang iba. Kung hindi, etong si Congressman Jude Asedre. Siya po yung pinupunteriya, isa sa pinupunteriya nitong si Crisette, mga kababayan. Kaya kung makikita ninyo, talagang bawat isang salita, mga kababayan, na pinapakawalan dito ni Congressman Jude Asedre, talagang tinitiyak niya na mahuli sa bibig itong si Crisette. Kaya kung titingnan nyo, hindi masagot ni Crisette ng direct to the point yung mga itinatanong sa kanya. Ang ginagawa niya, magpapaliwanag muna siya ng mahaba tapos paiikutin ang taong bayan at saka yung mga nasa kamera.
especially that Mrs. Crisette Chu is a journalist by profession,
Tama.
that there should be a clear demarcation between personal posts, especially what should determine, I think, Mr. Chair, should be the content of the post rather than who the one writing is. And especially in the case of Mrs. Crisette Chu, her being a journalist, make sure that a serious journalist, as she mentioned, will not publish rumors, because basically the way she explains it is that she has made this post on the basis of social media rumors. The ones who publish social rumors are actually those who are showbiz reporters.
Tama.
So the article on the resignation, and you can see no, in the following post, there has been no effort, Mr. Chair, to actually verify. May I ask the resource person again, Mr. Chair, after learning, have there been any efforts on your part to rectify or to correct the impression that you said you've articulated in your social media post?
Mr. Chair, can I answer this, sir? He's belaboring the point that this is news. It was not.
Tsaka tandaan nyo mga kababayan ha, tanyo yung sasabihin ni Crisette kapag bistado na siya at nasusukol na siya ni Congressman Asedre. Tingnan nyo ha.
News. The reason I said daw was that it was not news, but for me, that if this was true, and you could read it in my post, if totoo ito, please don't do it. I did not say, you can make a difference, you can make a distinction if you were trained in journalism between establishing something and saying, if this is true, please don't do it, and announce.
Sabi ni Anthony Jr., ano yun? Valdihueza, sabi niya dito, silent martial law ang Pinas ngayon. Sa utak mo lang yun. Bawas-bawasan mo kasi ang kakapentanil mo.
Many policemen have resigned. That's the difference. I wanted to predicate what I wrote with something that was daw, because it was a reminder to our policemen that please do not leave us, please think it through, that you can do more inside. So sir, for me it was more an opinion piece based on the general impression of when I wrote it, sir.
So now it's an opinion piece, Mr. Chair. That's how she's
articles
referring
on
it.
Facebook are opinion pieces po,
So,
sir.
Mr. Chair, this would be my last point. Would you agree, Mrs. Crisette, if you would, I would be so direct that what you've written on your post is simply somebody's ranting, sensationalizing a rumor heard on social media without no effort to verify, with simply the effort to create some questions or to insinuate a situation that would actually affect national security. Because that's how you explained it. You simply sensationalized a rumor you heard online without even taking the effort to verify, and without considering the possible effects on national security on the matter.
Kasi sa totoo lang mga kababayan, yung ginawa niyang yun, bababa talaga ang tingin ng taong bayan sa ating mga kapulisan. Kasi yung palabasin ba naman na marami na ang umaalis sa PNP, marami na nagre-resign sa PNP kasi nga buhat nung naaresto etong si dating Pangulong Duterte, ano magiging tingin ng ating mga kababayan sa ating mga kapulisan? Hindi na pala maganda ang serbisyo ng PNP, kaya nag-aalisa na yung iba? Kasi kahit sila, hindi na nila maintindihan kung ano yung susundin nila. Yan ang iisipin ng marami sa mga kababayang Pilipino natin. Tapos ngayon malalaman natin na hindi pala talaga balita yung ipinost nitong si Crisette, kung hindi sariling opinion lamang daw po niya. 'Di ba? Ang problema pa dito mga kababayan, kapag kagalit siya, nakakapagsalita siya ng hindi maganda. Tapos ngayon, kapag tinatanong na, sila pa yung may gana magalit at sasabihin na sariling opinion lamang nila yung kanilang sinasabi o na social media nila na marami silang napapaniwala.
That is very sensitive given the political situation of the country right now. And you feel no responsibility whatsoever to the 10,000 impressions or readers that who may be influenced by the opinions that you raised. You really don't care about what people will do or say or take after reading your post. Is that correct, Mrs. Crisette?
Mr. Chair, I will reply now. Okay, sir, I do not feel any responsibility because
Eto, pakinggan nyo kapag nasusukol na.
my conscience is clear. It was not phrased as news. It was something.
Mr. Chair,
sir.
I agree na. I'm not saying, I agree with what you're saying. It's not news. But you simply sensationalized on social media a rumor that you've heard or read or whatsoever, without any effort to verify it as a responsible social media user, and without consideration that given your following, the people who read and actually listen to you on a matter that's sensitive to national security.
Mr.
Wala
Chair,
kang
may I-
pakialam kung anong gagawin at iisipin ng mga tao, basta sinulat ni Crisette Chu, naniniwala yung mga tao, bahala maniwala sila, hindi. Wala kang pakialam doon.
Di ba?
Mr. Chair, may I already reply? The fact that the PNP felt there was a need to issue a clarification meant it was not me who thought about it, that it was the general sentiment of a lot of people because there were a lot of posts going around. I never claimed to have first-hand information about this. That's why it was very important to me to say
But
marami
neither
daw-
did you, Mr. Chair, neither did you say also in the same post that I do not have a first-hand information about this. Diba?
Yes,
Wala ka
Mr.
naman
Chair,
sinabi.
that was why I said daw, and it was not faced as a news.
3 words
but
does not-
for,
I mean-
but for me as a reminder to our policemen, sir.
Okay, granted, arguendo that that's the case, no? Now that the PNP has actually explained, and you even hear General Torres say, Mr. Chair, Mrs. Crisette, that it's not true. Are you willing to apologize for anybody who may have thought wrongfully? If you say, you claim is not your attention, are you willing to apologize to those who may have thought or have taken your statement as truthful and
Ayan.
factual?
Eto ha, pinag-a-apologize siya. Pinahihingi siya ng pasensya sa PNP. Kasi kailangan niyang humingi ng pasensya sa PNP. Bakit? Dahil doon sa kanyang ipinost na yun, mga kababayan, talagang naniwala yung iba sa mga kababayang Pilipino po natin na talagang marami na sa ating mga kapulisan ang umaalis sa serbisyo buhat nung naaresto etong si dating Pangulong Duterte. At dahil doon, naging masama ang tingin ng ating mga kababayan sa ating mga kapulisan. So ngayon, dapat lang naman, gasino gayong humingi siya ng pasensya kung alam naman niyang nagkamali siya. Di ba mga kababayan, ipagpatuloy pa natin.
Sir, I will not apologize only because if you read the entire
Ayaw.
post, it was to support the PNP and it was a good post. It was not news. So, sir, I'm sorry if you think if
Mr. Chair, I'm saying, aminado naman ho ng resource person na nakuha lang niya yung chismis sa social media. 'Di ba? Tapos ginawa niya ng buong kwento na
Diba?
yung mga police, this and that. That I would leave it to you because that's your opinion, calling on the police for whatever. But I'm asking you now that the police itself, the police organization, officially, and General Torre has now confirmed that, saying that there has been no mass resignation. Are you willing to rectify? Because many would have read your statement and read it without the doubts. Maybe some people actually, we have more than 30 clippings of your post, and people in their comments actually take in your statements as truthful. Now you're presented with an example that your statement has been debunked officially by the police and General Torre, who's here with us. Are you still not willing to correct yourself officially?
Sir, Mr. Chairman, in my training,
Nagpo-post ng walang resibo. Ang nangyari kasi mga kababayan, nakakuha siya ng chismis sa TikTok. And then, yung chismis na yon, ginawa niya ng mas magandang chismis. Alam niyo yung pinupunto natin? Di ba may kasabihan nga yung mga matatanda, pag lumabas yung balita, walang kamay at walang paa, wala ding ulo. And then mga kababayan, kapag lumipat dun sa isa, nagkakaroon na ng paa. Pag lumipat pa sa iba pang tenga, nagkakaroon na ng kamay. Pagdating dun sa iba pang tenga, nagkakaroon na ng ulo. Pagdating dun sa mismong tao na pinag-uusapan, buo na yung balita. So ngayon, ang ginawa niya ganun. Nakakuha siya ng chismis na walang kumpirmasyon, walang resibo, walang ebidensya. Tapos ginawa niya ng mas buong chismis na wala siyang pinanghahawakan na ebidensya. Kaya ngayon, nasusukol siya. Nasusukol siya dito ni Congressman Asedre. Ano pa, ipagpatuloy pa natin.
for journalism, the DAO is
you
very
know,
important, sir.
Mr. Chair,
And
the
also,
problem
sir,
with our resource
to our
person
police,
Yan.
Sir,
she claims to be a journalist whenever it's convenient and a private person whenever it's convenient. And if you go back to my opening, my manifestation earlier, Mr. Chair, that's actually the problem that we have today. You have people who are able to amplify issues without being bound by the canons of journalism. Diba? Subukan kayo ng komentaristang sabihin yan on air, on radio. kung hindi yan matanggal yung license niya sa KBP. And our social media influence, well, not everyone, but those who are able to peddle on sensationalized news or rumors on the basis of mere rumors, no? And I'm not bound by any accountability. Don't even, as the resource person has said, Mr. Chair, doesn't even feel responsible for the consequences of her statements. And I think we're treading on dangerous grounds here. Because, as I said earlier, something that you repeat over and over again, for someone who has a following of 10,000 impressions per post, 100,000, following 500,000 in her previous account and 200,000 in this current account, that's something that should be considered. Where do we draw the line between one statement and the accountability that he or she must bear for her readers? If this was a matter, Mr. Chair, and I'd like to wind up now, that affects my person, I wouldn't really mind, because I think being criticized openly comes with the job that we have. It comes with being elected to public office.
Public apology na kasi. Patatagalin pa eh. Ayaw pang tanggapin yung pagkakamali niya na nag-imbento siya ng kwento para sirain ang ating mga kapulisan. Public apology na. Alam niyo mga kababayan, sa totoo lang, ayaw niya pa mag-public apology. Mamaya naman magsasorry din yan.
But when it is a matter of national security, when it is a time when the country should be protected rather than weakened by all this misinformation and disinformation, I think we need to draw the line. I think that's all for my question, Mr. Chair. Thank you very much.
Mr. Chair, respectfully po, this is what I would like to say, is why a lot of people are afraid to speak out and are afraid of this
Mr. Chair,
kasi yun po yung sinasabing prior restraint na parang natatakot kami to speak out. Because, sir, people are watching us. The Filipinos are watching us. And
Mr.
I know
Chair,
they're not stupid, sir. They know what
Mr. Chair,
we mean by thou, what we say by
Ms.
thou.
Crisette, why? Do you feel threatened now?
Yes, sir.
Are we-
Yes, sir, because, sir, may I
Yeah,
I
I think
feel
there are
threatened
many
now,
people
sir.
here. I don't think we are harassing you.
Yeah,
Sir,
yan.
not you, sir. Mr. Asidra, sir. Because, sir, may I just share that we have a history because we are both from Leyte.
Anyway,
yes, sir, and I have been
Mr.
a
Chair,
vocal critic, sir.
Mr. Chair, if
Ms.
I may.
Crisette, I think Representative Asidre has already finished his
Thank you, sir.
interpolation.
Sorry,
So
sir.
maybe
Mr. Chair,
Hindi mga kababayan, ano yung sabi ni Crisette mga kababayan? Kaya daw yung iba natatakot magsalita sa kamera kasi nakakaramdam sila mga kababayan ng panghaharas. Parang tinitreaten sila mga kababayan, parang hinaharas. Tapos nung tinanong ni Congressman Johnny Pimentel kung pakiramdam niya ba yon dun sa mismong kamera, sabi ni Crisette, hindi naman daw po si Congressman Johnny Pimentel yung nangaano sa kanya. Kung hindi, eto daw po si Congressman Asedre yung nagtitreaten sa kanya at yung nangaharas sa kanya. May nakita ba kayo doon mga kababayan na hinaras siya ni Congressman Asedre? Parang wala naman. Tinatanong lang naman siya. Ang problema kasi, saglit na sumagot ng direct to the point, ang daming pasikot-sikot, ang daming pasakalye ng kanyang sinasabi. Diba? Kita nyo kung anong klaseng merong pag-uugali ang mga yan. Gagawa ng peking balita, gagawa ng fake news, pag nasusukol palalabasin, ginigipit sila. Ganyan katindi ang mga yan. Ngayon mga kababayan na nag-iinarte siya, di umano, dito po kay Congressman Asedre, tingnan niya ngayon pagkakaharap niya na etong si Congressman Abante. Tingnan niya ngayon yung attitude niya kung uobra yan kay Congressman Abante, ipagpatuloy pa natin.
I already said in my opening statement that whatever she posted many things about me, but I would not discuss that. But I think criticism like that, however unfair it is, comes with a territory of public service. But for someone to comment on national security, for an issue that affects our country, I think that's when you draw the line.
Oh, napakatindi nga dito na ni Congressman Asedre, napaka-professional niya. Alam niyo kung bakit? Kasi eto kasing si Congressman Asedre at itong si Crisette mga kababayan, parehas po ata sila na galing sa Leyte. Yan yung pagkakaalam ko, pakitama na lamang po ko kung ako po ay mali. And then, may naging issue sila dati na kung saan mga kababayan, sabi ko nga sa inyo, isa sa mga recipe ni Crisette na banatan, paulit-ulit, ay etong si Congressman Jude Asedre. Kaya nga mga kababayan, kung titingnan nyo ano yung sabi niya, may mga dapat na itanong dito kay Crisette about do sa mga tira sa kanya. Pero hindi na yon yung itinanong niya kasi nga ang pinag-uusapan dito, yung national security na dahil doon sa kanyang ginagawang mga ka-fake newsan. Mga kababayan, ano po, yung nagpakalat siya ng maling balita about po sa PNP. So anyway, ngayon ipagpatuloy pa natin.
I don't think this is about silencing anyone. I don't think this is harassment, because why would you feel harassed when you believe that you've been saying the truth? Because no amount of harassment can ever drown the truth. But if you've been using such power and influence to sensationalize, to influence, to manipulate adversely, without taking even responsibility for what you said or wrote, I think that's not silencing someone. That's just putting it right where personal responsibility should be upheld. And that's it, Mr. Chair.